Hey all, it's Morgan Young, and this is Long Story Short, where we are getting into the stories taking over your social media feed, and you don't even have to swipe. Today, we are starting with prices at the pump and why the war in Iran is making things a whole lot more expensive.
Well, have you filled up your gas tank recently? What did you pay for it? I'm guessing that it is significantly more than what you paid just 1 week ago, because since the conflict in Iran began, oil prices have shot up 28% in just about a week's time. And yes, that leads to higher gasoline prices, $3.19 a gallon here at this station in Frisco. Take a look at the national averages over the last week, risen about 50 cents or so. Compare that to here in Texas, we're a little bit better off, although we still saw that same increase in just 1 week's time. Keep in mind, it's not just when you gas up your car, but it is also the cost of deliveries, the cost of manufacturing. So all that will be inflated, and the inflated costs do get passed off to you, the consumer.
It's spring break week down in Houston, and oh my goodness, did you see the lines just to get through security at Hobby Airport? We have some video and some pictures from passengers there. At one point on Sunday, there were 3-hour waits just to get through the TSA checkpoints. What is going on? Well, remember, a partial government shutdown remains in effect right now. Congress still arguing over how to fund the Department of Homeland Security, which of course oversees TSA. That all has to do with ICE operations. Now, Hobby told passengers on Sunday they should arrive 4 to 5 hours ahead of their flights. We did not see anything like that up in North Texas, but spring break still a week away up here. DFW Airport estimates about 4.7 million people will be passing through this month. They say the weekends of March 13th and 20th will be their busiest. So if you are traveling then, get there very early.
I called her Maddie Hustle, kind of like just that was who she was.
After the unthinkable, a chance to say goodbye.
The reason it's going to hurt is because when we lose someone we love, they're worth missing.
On this night, the small town of Kemp is missing 16-year-old sophomore Madison Dyer. Her basketball coach called her Maddie Hustle.
And every coach, I promise you, wishes they had a team full of Maddies. I promise you.
On the court, in theater, and in class at Kemp High School, she was full of life until the morning of March 5th when she was driving to school. She spent the night at a relative's house in nearby Maybank, a family member said. Broken glass, tire tracks, and a small memorial on the side of State Highway 198 mark where the crash happened. Maddie died at the hospital, her family said. Maybank police did not immediately respond to our request for more information. Neighbors say that stretch of highway is dangerous.
There's been several accidents on that road in the recent months, and I would hope that something would get done.
Some people here say they'll push for change in the days to come. Now is a time for grieving.
I think it's a beautiful thing that the community would come together and allow for that, and allow for the students to feel what they feel.
In Kemp, I'm Luke Clary.
Neighbors saw smoke pouring out of a house on Grover in Fort Worth Sunday morning. Then they saw flames.
I was asleep. I woke up to the officers banging on the windows real hard. I didn't smell or hear anything.
Jennifer Zuniga says she barely had time to get out.
I really don't know where it started.
The fire burned down a portion of the garage and tore through the roof.
The puppies were in this room.
She did not have time to grab her 10 8-week-old puppies who were trapped inside.
I love my puppies. I take care of them so much. I feel like I failed them, you know. They're so innocent. They didn't deserve this.
All 10 puppies died.
Yeah, I felt helpless. I was just scared.
The house was a friend's. It's destroyed too.
It took a while.
Neighbors Tony and Cindy Groom said fire crews spent hours on their street.
It's sad that it happened to anybody.
I just hope things can get better from this point on.
Zuniga believes it was intentional. She says someone familiar with the home was causing problems.
Blanca, come here. This is a mom, and she didn't let nobody ever get near her.
She says that is what makes this loss so much harder. The Fort Worth Fire Department says the cause of this fire is still under investigation. A spokesperson did say an arrest was made today, but that person was arrested for a different fire at this same home in late February. In Fort Worth, I'm Brittany Costello.
The Texas Rangers unveiled a statue inside Globe Life Field earlier this week, but that statue of a Texas Ranger that was once on display at Dallas Love Field has drawn a concerned response from the Arlington NAACP. The 12-foot-tall One Riot, One Ranger statue was first installed at Love Field in the 1960s, but removed in 2020 when it was revealed that Ranger Jay Banks was the original model for it, a trooper involved in keeping black students from integrating schools in Mansfield in the 1950s. The Rangers, instead installing it this week in the left field concourse at Globe Life Field, say it represents all Rangers, not just that one. Still, the president of the Arlington NAACP wants a larger conversation about what the statue represents to so many people.
Let me be clear, this is not a criticism of modern law enforcement. The Arlington NAACP supports the men and women who serve our communities every day. Our concern is about honoring a historical figure whose actions were tied to resistance against civil rights and school desegregation in this community.
The modern Texas Ranger reflect the diversity, integrity, and professionalism expected of one of the nation's oldest and most respected law enforcement organizations.
Still on social media, people have been using AI to drape the statue in Klan robes to show their disgust. We did reach the Texas Rangers asking about the NAACP complaints, but have not yet received a response.
I had to go to McDonald's if I want to use the restroom because I have no water.
A lady in Forney says she bought a new house, but she can't get her water turned on until she pays the last owner's utility bill.
There was to be no water turned on here at this property until that bill was paid. It's paid, and it's like a total of $1,373.24. I do not have that money.
Rosalind Lyles says when she walked through the house the day before she closed, the water was working fine. But when she went to go move in a couple weeks later, it was turned off. So she called her water provider, Lake Forney Water Supply, and said, hey, I need you to turn on my water. I just moved here. They said, no, there's a utility bill outstanding on this address, and we're not going to turn your water on until you pay it. At least that's what she says happened. I tried calling the utility provider myself. The person who answered declined to comment and said if I wanted more information, I had to go to the next board meeting, which she said was in April. She said I'd have to put in a request to go 5 days ahead of time, and she couldn't tell me what day in April it was happening, which leaves Rosalind Lyles stuck. She can't get her water turned on, and so she can't move into her new house. She's already paid her last month's rent on the current place. And so she's hoping that something changes before she has to move in and can't turn on her faucets.
Lysandra, lock this door. You guys are chickens. Stay safe. Lock it. I'm on. Yeah.
Tornado hit East Texas, and this morning cleanup efforts are underway in Marion County. That's about 3 hours east of us here in Dallas. Officials did confirm a tornado touched down during yesterday's storm. Meanwhile, strong winds ripped roofs from homes, snapped trees in half, and a home was pushed off its foundation. One man spoke out about what he lost and what was saved.
I was upset the house was gone, but it didn't hurt me that bad. It can be replaced. We was all safe. So upset and started crying that I realized how close we were to losing my daughter and wife's life.
And thankfully, his family is safe. At least 2 people were hurt, though. Marion County did issue a disaster declaration. Residents are being urged to be careful as crews begin that recovery process.
You're looking at the old sheet metal building here in Garland. Fire crews say the storms that we had last night likely what caused it to collapse. Now the question is today, is it salvageable?
Obviously lost the roof as well as some of the support beams inside. Water damage.
Kyle Latham knows how powerful Mother Nature can be, and on Thursday her force brought him here. to West Kingsley Road in Garland.
We'll be looking at this from a rebuild, construction, water containment.
Latham works with Mooring, a disaster restoration and commercial construction company, now assessing what's left of this sheet metal building. Wednesday evening, spring storms rolled through North Texas. Safety crews say the collapse wasn't caused by wind, but by rainwater weight that built up on the roof.
There is some damage inside, damage to the structure, the office building. A lot of the sprinklers went off.
But for crews surveying the wreckage, the biggest question is simple. Can it be saved?
Absolutely. It's salvageable.
And this is Texas. This is getting the springtime of year. Weather changes in a minute.
James Duggar with the Garland Fire Department says 7 people were inside. They heard the roof start to buckle and got out just in time. He says to take this as a warning of how powerful storms can be.
We would always recommend pay attention to your situation.
Have proper emergency contingency plans with all the spring weather we're about to have.
With another round of storms expected Friday night, crews will keep a close eye on what's left of this structure and on whatever else Mother Nature decides to bring next. In Garland, I'm Richard Solomon.
Well, you've seen him all over social media giving his take on local restaurants. And now food influencer Keith Lee is actually taking on his own restaurant. Lee is investing in the Brooklyn Dumpling Shop, and he held a pop-up at the store in Deep Ellum.
This is crazy. So this was on like almost a 30 minutes notice, and this amount of people showed up. I'm forever thankful. Dallas is one of those places that's always shown us love. The South in general has always showed us love. So this is a token of appreciation and say thank you back. This is Brooklyn Dumpling Shop. It is a fast food chain that is focused on quality, focused on family, and focused on community. And I was driven to them because I tried it personally when I first moved here, and I loved it. But past that, the way that they move business-wise, the operations, the partnerships that they do, I love how business savvy they are, and I think we can do some amazing things together. And I look forward to all of the partnerships that we have coming up this year. It's going to be stuff like this where it's community focused. It's going to be stuff where we're really doing a lot for families, and we're blessed enough to be in a position to be able to do that. Welcome to the Brooklyn Dumpling Shop. Keith Lee pop-up. God is amazing. One more. Welcome to the Brooklyn Dumpling Shop.
Okay, who's coming up with these mascots? Like, who named them?
It is Mascot Monday, and we have the wonderful Michelle Montaigne.
Michelle Montaigne, Mascot Monday. Talk about an alliteration.
Yes. I'm taking it easy on you this time. And if this easy one is a struggle, we may want to cut.
We're just going to cut it from here.
Your first mascot.
Okay.
Grand Prairie High School.
Prairie dogs.
I guess you're right, in a way.
Dogs?
I think it's the same thing. The Gophers.
Yeah.
We'll give you a half point.
Yeah.
Lake Worth.
Lake Worth? Leopards.
No, it has to do with the water. The bullfrogs.
Oh, wouldn't have, literally never.
Santa Ana.
Saints.
The Mountaineers.
Okay, not even,
Maybe they can rename it the Montaineers.
The
Michelle Montaineers.
I like that.
Come on,
That's a nice ring
new
to it.
mascot
Santa.
time. Amarillo.
Armadillos. Gotta be.
That would make sense. You would think. No, it's the Golden Sandies.
Okay, who's coming up with these mascots? Like, who named them?
I like their old one better. They used to be the Savages.
Don't like that either.
We gave you half for the Grand Prairie one, so you're half out of 5. So let's see if you can up it here. Sundown, which is west of Lubbock.
All right, because every guess that I've had feels logical, I'm gonna go unlogical, illogical, and go with, what's the school? Sundown?
Sundown.
Sunsets.
No.
Let me try again.
Oh, okay.
Sundown Razorbacks.
You got the right letter. It's the Roughnecks.
No. Okay.
Which a roughneck is someone that worked an oil rig.
Yes.
We all knew that.
Yeah, we did.
Of course. All right, well, we'll give you half.
Better than Joe's Ofer.
Yeah, Joe went 0 for 5 in his first time.
You didn't even get a half.
I do have to say they might get progressively harder each week from here, so.
Okay, so get ready.
Brush up.
Got it.
Well, we sure hope you have been tuning in to our refreshed Daybreak show. One of our favorite segments is In the Feed. So as we leave you, here are some highlights. We'll see you back here on Wednesday.
All right, let's get into In the Feed.
We've got a ranch-flavored milkshake.
We're back! The TCU women's basketball team wins big in Fort Worth.
While that sounds appealing, I'm talking Baby Punch, y'all. You know I'm obsessed. We've got an update on Punch the monkey.
You want to give your cat the outdoor experience without the danger involved? Well, some owners are giving their furry friends the best of both worlds. Take a look at this video of a catio.
I'm hang with you in Vegas, man.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's go. I'll take Greg along with me. No worries.
Honestly, it
Hit
feels
the slots.